Prime Minister Modi at Belur Math in Kolkata. Of course, Mr. Modi has a very long connection with Belur Math. Look at those visuals. He is offering his prayers at the Belur Math, of course, which is the headquarters of the Ramakrishna Mission. You just saw the statue of Ramakrishna Paramhansa. That is the building of Belur Math in Kolkata. Let's not forget that after leaving Vadnagar, that is his native place, Modi had spent some time at Belur Math and has a very close and old association with the monks of Belur Math. Those visuals on your screen right now, look at that building which is built in, of course, mixed architecture style. That is the statue of Sri Ramakrishna Paramhansa, and as you well know that his disciple Vivekananda had taken Ramakrishna Paramhansa's teachings across the world, and then later he returned, and I think the building was built in 1897 if I am not wrong, the Belur Math. There Modi is of course has a very close association seen with the monks at Belur Math. All right, so let me now go across to Shobhashachi. Shobhashachi, Modi, of course, let's focus on Modi's, visit to Belur Math. And it has a great significance, of course, as we all know, Vivekananda came back and decided to build this building here, which is built in mixed architecture. And it's a great, kind of a tribute. It's consecrated to Ramakrishna Paramhansa. There you have it. Tell our viewers about the importance of the Belur Math and Modi's connection, because as I recall, and I hope I am right, that after leaving, in 1968, after he left Vadnagar, that is his village in Gujarat, the Prime Minister had come to Belur Math. Shobhashachi.
Well, that's right. See, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a very special connection with Belur Math and Ramakrishna, and Prime Minister in fact has been visiting Belur Math time and again, and this is a symbolic outreach, because on one hand also we cannot deny the fact that the polls in the state of West Bengal are going on. Today is the first phase, and on 29th will be the second phase. And Mamata Banerjee has been attacking Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and several other leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party as outsiders, Boiragroto, and time and again they have been taking the attack on Bangla Ashmita as well as Bengali pride. So somewhere this could be seen as a counter from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the Bharatiya Janata Party with none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting Belur Math, and we can see on the visuals him taking the blessings of Ramakrishna, as well as talking with the Swamijis over there, and he has been doing it. So it's a clear-cut message from the BJP as well as Prime Minister Narendra Modi that they do have this connection and they are not outsider. So as far as politics is concerned, this is a clear-cut symbolic message from the Bharatiya Janata Party to the people of West Bengal that they are not against Bengali Ashmita, or they are not against Bengali pride, and definitely they are not outsiders.
I remember the past two visits of Prime Minister Modi. One was in 2015 and the other was in 2020. I recall, Shobhashachi, in 2015 the Prime Minister was extremely emotional when he saw the room where Swami Vivekananda had stayed. And 2020, I remember very clearly him taking a boat across Ganga to reach the Belur Math. I mean, this is of course, like you said, that it is, also a counter, or perhaps because it's time of the polls. I mean, it's obvious that every little gesture by the Prime Minister shall be noticed, but about Bengali Ashmita and things like that. But Belur Math cuts across people. Belur Math is more of a philosophical temple. It is not any religious specific temple. Am I correct, Shobhashachi?
That's right. See, Belur Math is not religious specific, and it holds a lot of significance in West Bengal. And see, in the past, it is also important to highlight that there has been some amount of friction between the Swamijis of Belur Math and the Trinamool Congress government. So, in fact, as you rightly pointed out, see, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been closely associated with Belur Math. He visited Belur Math time and again, and whether it is Ramakrishna or Vivekananda, in fact, time and again, Prime Minister Narendra Modi have highlighted their teachings. Now, in Bengali culture, see, Ramakrishna holds a very important position, because it's not possible that nobody who comes from West Bengal doesn't know about Ramakrishna or about his teachings or about Vivekananda. And this could be seen as a direct message to the Trinamool Congress, because the BJP this time has rectified their past mistakes that we had seen in 2021, that where it was more about polarization, where it was more about proving that the Trinamool Congress is a Muslim favored party. This time also the BJP has have focused on appeasement politics, that the Trinamool party does appeasement politics. They favor one particular community. And the BJP in fact also have focused on governance and focused on...
I'm sorry to interject you, fresh shots, there you saw latest shots, there you have it. Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Belur Math in Kolkata, the Ramakrishna Math as it were. There you have it. He has a very old association with the Math. This was built in around the 1890s, I guess, which was initiated and built by Swami Vivekananda in the 1960s. After leaving his home in Vadnagar, Modi had spent a lot of time here walking, meditating and talking to the monks. You were saying, Shobhashachi. Yeah.
See, Prime Minister Narendra Modi understands the ground realities in the state of West Bengal. See, the BJP understands that somewhere the Trinamool Congress right now is in the back foot, and the BJP has identified the core issues in the state of West Bengal. They have focused on governance. They have countered Mamata Banerjee's scheme with their own scheme. They have spoken about Bengali Ushmita and all. But most interesting, if you see that a lot of the BJP leaders during their campaign, in fact, they were seen carrying fish with them, and they, in fact, ministers, former union ministers like Anurag Thakur was even seen eating fish and promoting it. So the message is very much clear that if the BJP comes into power, then they are not going to attack on Bengali culture, or they are not going to attack on Bengali pride. So that is the reason why the timing of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Belur Math holds a lot of significance, and the visuals clearly says it all. Prime Minister Narendra Modi walking with the Swamiji, visiting every single room in Belur Math, and this is not the first time that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Belur Math. In the past also he has visited several times, and we all know what kind of connection Prime Minister Narendra Modi shares with Ramakrishna or with Vivekananda. So clearly from the political prism, it could be seen as a very good strategy as far as the BJP is concerned.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, viewers who have just joined us. Prime Minister Modi at the Belur Math, which is of course consecrated to Ramakrishna Paramhansa. Like my colleague Shobhashachi was telling us, that there is nobody, I think, in West Bengal particularly, who doesn't know who Ramakrishna Paramhansa and Maa Sharada were. Of course, worshipped all across the state, actually worshipped across the world, and Swami Vivekananda was a disciple of Ramakrishna Paramhansa. After coming back from his sojourns abroad, Vivekananda decided to build a temple at the same place, this Belur Math, and it is of course on the banks of the Hooghly, the banks of the Ganga, and Prime Minister Modi has a very long and deep spiritual connection with the Belur Math. And of course today West Bengal went to the polls during its first phase, and the second phase is slated for 29th of April, and therefore he is, of course, there is a deep past connection, but it is also being connected with his with the second phase of elections in West Bengal. There you see, at the time when he was here, which is in the 1960s, as a young man who had actually escaped what is called worldly life and almost given up and renunciated life, and to be at the Belur Math, Prime Minister Modi had walked a lot, talked a lot to the monks, meditated deeply and tried to understand the purpose of his life. So there, this past connection comes from there. And also, let's not forget that the BJP has always, projected Vivekananda, and rightly so, as one of the icons of the party, and about the kind of teachings that Vivekananda's books and speeches had. Also, let me tell you that when Prime Minister Modi was at the Belur Math, he was closely associated with the late Swami Atma Sthananandaji Maharaj, a former president of the Ramakrishna Mission, whom he regarded as his guru. And I remember Modi once said, and I am quoting him, that visiting Belur Math feels like a boy visiting his home. That was the time, and therefore he made multiple visits to the Math before he entered active politics in his life. Like I said earlier, in 2015, when Prime Minister Modi visited the room where Swami Vivekananda's relics are kept, he had become very emotional, recalling the great man and the philosopher Swami Vivekananda. But is a place where he is often described, like I said, deeply personal and spiritual journey. Like I was saying, headquarters of the Ramakrishna Mission, founded by Swami Vivekananda, and it has long influenced Modi's worldview and public life. His visit, marked by prayers and reflection, is being seen both symbolic and very strategic. Coming just ahead of the crucial assembly elections in the state, the visit also carries political weight as the BJP looks to strengthen its outreach in West Bengal while invoking the legacy of Swami Vivekananda and the region's rich cultural heritage. To be a renunciate and leave everything and become a monk. Like I said, this was in 1968, and he took on an ideological journey, and this marks his fourth visit to the Math, with which he has been very closely associated, and his third as Prime Minister of India. Belur Math actually is the spiritual nerve center, as it were, of West Bengal, and holds immense cultural and philosophical significance rooted in the teachings of Advaita and service to humanity. Modi's visit, of course, includes prayers and reflection, reinforcing that long-standing association. The party, of course, if you look at it from the prism of strategy and electoral politics, this visit will also, symbolize for many political experts that the BJP is seeking to deepen its connect with the state's cultural identity while invoking the legacy of Swami Vivekananda. What is unusual about Belur Math is that it is not the quintessential temple that we see, but it is more like a very modern, a spiritual center which has a universal appeal. I mean, it is peaceful, its philosophical teachings, and it doesn't really adhere to any religious beliefs or, let us say, any kind of rituals. It's not ritualistic, it's more philosophical. The architecture is, of course, beautiful. If we have shots of outside, we can also look at it. It's like Islamic, it's also Buddhist, and it's also based on Hindu architecture.